Hello everyone, this is Navarsha, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, Engineering College Bikaner. In previous classes, we have studied about some of the routing algorithms of network layer, and we have studied about intra-domain routing in algorithms. Today we will study inter-domain routing, one of the inter-domain routing protocol, that is path vector routing. Basically we have studied distance vector and link state routing, and these both are inter-domain routing protocols. That means they both works inside an autonomous system. So if we have to connect two or more autonomous systems, then definitely we need some inter-domain routing algorithm which may perform routing between the autonomous systems. Okay, so the previous two protocols were not suitable for inter-domain routing, mostly because of their scalability. Both the previous protocols become intractable when the domain of operation becomes large. So path vector routing is very much useful for inter-domain routing. Basically, the principle of path vector routing is similar to something similar to distance vector routing. In path vector routing, we assume that there is one node in each autonomous system that acts on behalf of the entire autonomous system. So for each autonomous system, we have a speaker node. That particular node is known as the speaker node, which is responsible for all the which is responsible to transfer the information within an autonomous system. So the speaker node in autonomous system creates a routing table, and then it advertises it to the speaker nodes of the neighboring autonomous systems. In distance vector routing also, what we were doing was we were we were transferring the information to the neighboring nodes. So here we are transmitting the information to the neighboring autonomous system or the neighboring speaker node. So it is similar to distance vector algorithm. Okay, so we will see the initial routing table in path vector routing. At the beginning, each speaker node can know only the reachability of node inside its autonomous system. So this is the table for in path vector routing. So here you can see this node A1. It is the speaker node for AS1. We have this A1 is wait a minute. Okay, this A1 is the speaker node for AS1, that is autonomous system 1, and B1 is the speaker node for AS2, C1 is for AS3, and D1 is for AS4. Okay, so what we have to do is a speaker in an autonomous system shares its table with immediate neighbors only. So here you can see A1 shares its table with node B1 and C1. C1 shares its table with node D1 and B1 and A1. Node B1 shares its table with C1 and A1, and D1 shares its table with C1. Okay, so how the okay, so when a speaker node receives a two column table from a neighbor, the the two the two column neighbor we have studied in distance vector why we are transmitting two vector column, because one is the distance and another one is the destination. So whenever a speaker node receives a two column information from a neighbor, it updates its own table by adding the nodes that are not in the routing table, and also adding its own autonomous system and the autonomous system that send the table. Okay, so after a while, when each speaker has a table and knows how to reach each node in other autonomous system. So that is the updated state of the particular of the path vector routing algorithm. So if I see, A1 receives a packet for node A3. Okay, it knows that the path in AS1. Okay, but if it receives a packet for D1, let's suppose if A1 receives the packet for A3, it knows that A3 is in its own autonomous system. But if it receives a packet for D1, it knows that the packet should go from AS1. Okay, and AS, see, this is the final, this is the stabilized, this is the updated level of each speaker node. Okay, so if router A1, if I see to router A1, if A1 receives a packet for node A3, it knows that the path is in AS1. But if it receives a packet from D1, then what will happen, it knows that the packet should go from AS1, then AS2, then AS3. The routing table shows the path completely. On the other hand, if D1 in AS4 receives a packet for A2, it knows it should go to AS4, AS3, okay, AS4, AS3, and then AS1. Okay, so this is D1. So basically we have four advantages of path vector algorithm. First one is loop prevention. So then in distance vector routing algorithm, we studied a two state instability. So here when a router receives a message, it checks to see if its autonomous system it is in the path of the list to destination, and if it is there, then looping is involved and the message is ignored. That means if in AS, if A1 sees its path, its own autonomous system in its path, then it will be treated as looping. Next we have policy routing. So in policy routing, it can be easily implemented through path vector routing. Whenever a router receives a message, it can check the path. If one of the autonomous system listed in the path is against its policy, then it can ignore the path and the destination. So it does not update its routing table with this path, and it does not send any message to the neighboring nodes. Next we have optimal path. So what is optimal path in path vector routing? So we are basically looking for a path to a destination that is the best for the organization that runs the autonomous system. We definitely cannot include metrics in this route, because each autonomous system that is included in the path may use a different criteria for the metric. Okay, some may require some may be like real time applications may be there, some may be some applications may be like reliability is much important. So it depends upon which application is using, which autonomous system we are using. So it is decided based upon the system we are using. Okay, next we have BGP. So BGP is nothing but it is the implementation of path vector routing algorithm. So in BGP we have we will study type of autonomous system. So the internet is basically divided into hierarchical domains which are known as autonomous system. If a large corporation that manages its own network and has full control over it is an autonomous system. A local ISP which provides services to local customers in an autonomous system. So we can divide the autonomous system into three categories. First one is stub autonomous system, then multi-home autonomous system, and then transit autonomous system. Okay, so stub AS is it has only one connection to another AS. We have studied stub link, so it is something similar to stub link. It has only one connection to another autonomous system. Interdomain data traffic in a stub can be either created or terminated in the AS. The host in AS can send the data traffic to other autonomous system, and the host in the AS can receive the data coming from the host in the other autonomous system. Okay, data cannot pass through a stub autonomous system. A stub AS is either a source or a sink. That's it. A good example is, you can say, a small corporation of a small local ISP. Okay, next we have a multi-homed autonomous system. It has a multi-homed autonomous system has more than one connection to other AS, but it is still only a source or sink for data traffic. It can receive the data and it can send the data, but the data cannot. There is no transient traffic between multi-homed autonomous system. In transient autonomous system, it is a multi-homed autonomous system that also allows transient traffic. Means the traffic can pass through transient AS also. Okay. Okay, next we basically have two types of BGP sessions. First one is internal and the next one is external BGP session. If I take a precise, then BGP can be of two sessions, external and internal. The BGP session is used to exchange information between two speaker nodes, which belongs to two different autonomous systems. Okay. So the eBGP is for different autonomous systems, and the iBGP session is used to exchange routing information between two routers inside an autonomous system only. Okay, so if I see for this AS1 and AS2, the session established between AS1 and AS2 is eBOP, because they both are two different autonomous systems. The two speaker routers exchange information, whatever information they know about networks in the internet. However, these two routers need to collect the information from other routers in the autonomous system. So this is done by IBOP. Means if you are transmitting the information from one autonomous system to another autonomous system, then it is external BGP connection, external BGP session. And if you are transmitting the information inside your own autonomous system, which is done by speaker node, then it is internal BGP session. Okay, thank you so much.